Exclusive. Chelsea have submitted new bid for Moisés Caicedo in the last 24 hours. Understand, Chelsea new proposal was 80 million, 93 million euros, and it was immediately rejected by Brighton. Negotiations remain ongoing, but no agreement at this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we do? What do we do?
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news, the latest bid, as I said, Chelsea will surely enough come up with that 80 million bid, and they have, and it apparently has been rejected very, very quickly. As soon as the email, apparently it was done through an email, as soon as the email came, they just picked that email up and put it into the deleted section straight away. No reply, no nothing, just a rejection straight up. Understand, it's a rejection. So what do we do? What do we do, ladies and gentlemen? Look, it's clear as daylight. We need help in midfield. It is clear as daylight. This is partly our fault. It is partly our fault. This is what happens when you don't have proper planning. And I don't completely blame us, to be honest, because new owners came in, new board was only structured earlier this year, so it takes time to plan stuff. We are trying to get better, but with this Moisés Caicedo situation, we just didn't have enough time to go out there and scout DMs and have a plethora of options available. There's talks about Romeo Lavia, but Romeo Lavia is now also neck deep with Liverpool. We're apparently trying to hijack. I'm going to showcase that news to you guys. What do we do? We're in dire need of a midfielder. And look, as much as I love Santos, as much as I love Caicedo, that's how people told me to pronounce Caicedo. Let me know if I'm still getting it wrong, man. Honestly, at this moment, I don't really care anymore. As much as I love them, those two players, and I think they're solid backups for Enzo and that other experienced midfielder Caicedo that we're looking for. We do need help. Like that, we cannot just rely on Santos and Caicedo for this entire season. It's a grueling season in the Premier League. They're only kids, and I know Caicedo himself is also a kid, but at least he has some form of high level of experience in the Premier League, and that counts for something. And his maturity, I suppose, looks beyond his age, but that goes with Santos and Caicedo as well. Bottom line, we need someone in. All right, we need someone in. We need someone who's far more well-rounded. Caicedo is far more well-rounded, far in terms of his skill set, is far superior to Santos and Caicedo. So it makes sense to have someone like him next to Enzo Fernandez. Look, not that long ago, I was so peeved off, so annoyed by Brighton and I'm still annoyed, and I'm still peeved off that, brother, 80 million is more than reason enough, and that's what we've done. But these guys are hell-bound and fixated to that 100 million offer. In fact, it's actually more than 100 million now. David Ornstein, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Chelsea today sent 80 million offer to Brighton for Moisés Caicedo, rejected instantly on email. Previously, Chelsea, so that was the fourth bid, by the way. Previously, Chelsea bids 60 million, 65 million, 70 million. Brighton hope to keep the 21-year-old, likely to take 100 million plus. So it's not even 100 million. You know how we have the price tag in our head that it's 100 million? It's not even 100 million. It's 100 million plus. What does plus mean? 101 million? 102 million? What is it? 110 million? What do we do? Like, Brighton got our balls, right? They got our balls, and they're squeezing the daylights out of it. You're screaming in pain, but you can't do anything. You can't do anything about it, because this is the player that transforms our midfield. This is the player that gives us hope that not only we should be competing for the top five, because top five is what the Champions League, but at least, we can put up a decent show next season. What do we do? Yesterday, after the match, it was clear as daylight to see that we need help in midfield. Definitely Enzo Fernandez needs far more superior skill set next to him. And once again, no disrespect to Santos and Caicedo, they've been so good, but they can be the understudy. And I thought, okay, might as well just pay the 100 million and never ever deal with Brighton ever again. But now what do we do? Is it more than 100 million? I mean, do we just allow them to ask for whatever the money is? We don't even have an alternative. I don't think we have an alternative. Seems like the alternative is, ladies and gentlemen, is this particular one. Ben Jacobs, the Chelsea counter is coming. Chelsea ready to move for Lavia and even prepared to table a higher offer than Liverpool, having bid 50 million for him a year ago. If you guys remember last summer, without even kicking the ball, Lavia, we put in a 50 million bid. Southampton just thought that was a bit of a joke. But Lavia is still sold on Liverpool. A move to Anfield remains more likely at this stage. Ben Jacobs further goes on to say, as far as Liverpool are concerned, they believe they have the player buy-in and can reach an agreement with Saints soon. That makes a Chelsea hijack difficult, but it won't stop them from trying. This is also why Liverpool are moving fast. So, what do we do? What do we do? Premier League season is in about 2 weeks' time. Just a tad over 2 weeks. What do we do? We need help. I don't know if we are interested in anyone else. We've been trying to get Caicedo all this time. Seems like Lavia was the second choice, but even Lavia is getting out of our grasp. Don't forget, we lost Ugarte as well. It will turn out to be a bit of a shambolic situation if we didn't get any of our targets. We've done a fantastic job getting rid of a whole heap of players. We've been focused on them, but it seems like we didn't work efficiently enough from the get-go to make these deals happen. We should have probably secured Lavia a long time back. And now that Liverpool are so deep into the situation, Liverpool will offer something close to 50 million. They've got the players buying, which is not just coming from Ben Jacobs, but it's been coming from many top Liverpool sources as well. What do we do? What do we do? We need help. We need help. We surely cannot think about just keeping Galadona and Galadinho and Galahimovic. We need help. If anything, we need Gallagher to be sold. I don't even think 100 million is going to do the trick anymore. I can't even sit here and say, do you know what? Pay the 100 million. Pay the 100 million and just get this done. It might not even be 100 million. What do we do? We're stuck. We are stuck. Do we just pay whatever they want and that's it? Close the books with them forever? Not deal with them ever again? Just imagine they don't even exist. We're in a massive conundrum. Or do we just risk it? Go to the new season with Enzo Fernandez, Cesare Caicedo, Andre Santos, and that's it. Maybe keep Gallagher. That's honestly that feels like a nightmare for me. Just thinking about that feels like a nightmare for me. I was going to say, okay, just table that 100 million bid. Table that 100 million and see what happens, and see if Brighton agrees on it. Right now, the only option we have is we need Moisés Caicedo to kick up a fuss. He is not going to do that. That's the issue. We need Moisés Caicedo to stop training. We need Moisés Caicedo to stop playing. We need Moisés Caicedo to do everything that he did in January earlier this year to do it all over again. But what does it matter? He's already tried that trick once. Brighton's just going to laugh at him. He signed a new contract, which he shouldn't have. He should have signed the new contract with some clause. I'm starting to think this is not going to happen, man. And the fact that Chelsea are moving to hijack Lavia makes me think we are moving away from Caicedo. And on top of that, if we are willing to pay extra bit for Lavia, you might as well pay that for Caicedo. What's a better purchase? Who's a better purchase? 100 million for Caicedo or 50 plus million for Lavia? Caicedo. Caicedo is a far better, well-rounded midfielder, one of the best in the Premier League. And he's probably worth splashing that extra bit of money as opposed to Lavia. And Lavia, from what I've seen last season, I don't think he's completely disciplined enough to play as a DM. I remember him scoring a goal against us. He's more of a box-to-box. He could probably be molded as a genuine DM. But I think Caicedo is far, far more well-structured, well-rounded. His skill set is far superior than any of these youngsters. Caicedo himself is a youngster. Tony Bloom wants to keep Moisés Caicedo and is reluctant to sell him for less than 100 million. Chelsea had set a ceiling on negotiations and have alternatives to consider. Look, My heart, I'm going to go with my heart. My heart kind of says now, just table that 100 million bid. I mean, 80 million has been rejected. What's it going to be next? 85 million guaranteed plus some add-ons. You might as well just go to that 100 million and just get this player. And for once and for all, move away from Brighton. We need some quality, big-time quality in midfield. And Santos and Caicedo, they can be the understudy. And they will become superstars down the track. But for now, we need Moisés Caicedo. I don't have anyone else. We're not linked with anyone else. I can sit here and say Zubimendi, but we're not linked with them. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about that. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'm not blaming Chelsea. I think we've done everything the right way. We've given Brighton a reasonable offer. But Brighton, they're looking at apparently the Jude Bellingham deal. They're looking at Declan Rice deal. They're looking at obviously Enzo Fernandez deal. And they think, why should they get shortchanged? They value the player 100 million now. And the player is not going to do anything. He's not going to put in a transfer request. He's not going to kick up a fuss. He's going to stay put. So he wants to join Chelsea. He definitely wants to join Chelsea. And he's made that quite clear to Brighton hierarchy as well. But he's not going to mess around. He's going to be respectful. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I feel now let's just get to that 100 million and get this player. But I'm getting the indication from Chelsea that they're not going to entertain that one bid. Mauricio Pochettino warns of a mess if his squad is not cut down. At the same time, calls to add players in certain positions. Yesterday, post-match, Mauricio Pochettino was quite brutally honest that certain players are not going to make it. They're in the preseason, sure, but we've got too many options. Like, for instance, on the left side, Cucurella, Chilwell, Hall, Ian Martin. Hall can be used as a midfielder, but we're not really looking at him as a midfielder. He didn't even feature yesterday in the match. I think Hall's going to go out on a loan. Ian Martin, I think, will stay, but more of a versatility play. He can be pretty much utilized anyway, and I think Mauricio Pochettino likes him. From what we've seen already of Ian Martin in this preseason, he's a good player. From what we saw last season against with Burnley, he's a damn good player. So I've got no issues in keeping someone like Ian Martin. Obviously, we need to have a plan as to how we're going to utilize him all throughout the season. It's good that he's versatile. Yesterday, we even saw him play on the right side. Someone like Angelo Gabriel, seems like I think he's going to go on a loan. It's a bit of a shame that we didn't get to see him yesterday. I think he's going to go on a loan, and maybe a few other players that might be, off to a loan move. Bishi Humphries being one. Chalobah potentially is going to get sold. And maybe a couple of other players. And it's just the nature of the beast at the moment. But we need some inclusions. We definitely need Moisés Caicedo, and I think we definitely also need Mohamed Kudus as well. And that's the next news, ladies and gentlemen. Kudus is not training with Ajax due to injury, but 3 days ago, Chelsea had some calls on the player side and with Ajax to understand the conditions of the deal. Brighton can only get Kudus if they sell some players. Caicedo deal is still on with Chelsea. So Brighton are after him. Let's not allow Brighton to get this player. Let's get this player and let's get Caicedo on top. Apparently, the only way Brighton can get this player is if they are able to sell Caicedo, and with that money, they can then go ahead and buy Kudus. We need Kudus. As I said, there is one more profile required in the attacking area, someone who can rotate with Nicholas Jackson up front, someone who can potentially rotate with Nkunku in central attacking midfield role, someone who can potentially give us a bit of option on the wide areas, especially on the left side. And Mohamed Kudus definitely makes sense at the moment. So look, if we can do this deal, let's get this deal done. But Moisés Caicedo obviously is the most important piece at the moment. It's almost panic stations. It almost is panic stations, and I would hate to see some sort of ridiculous loan coming up soon in the likes of Zakaria and Saul kind of stuff. I don't want Chelsea football to panic like that. Please try and get Moisés Caicedo. Just pay the 100 million and see what happens. If it's more than 100 million, then I guess you can just pull the plug. I think 100 million might do the trick. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Lautaro Martinez exposes Lukaku. Lukaku is... what's he still doing, bro? What's this brother still doing at Chelsea Football Club? No one wants you. Go to Saudi Arabia, man. Go to Saudi Arabia. Even though your mate, Lautaro Martinez, has exposed you. This is the guy that you went to the wedding to with Megan Thee Stallion. This is the guy you had that infamous interview for, saying that Lautaro, you stay there, brother. I'm coming back. Look at what Lautaro is saying now. Lukaku, I was disappointed. It's the truth. I also tried to call him in those days of chaos, but he never answered me the same he did with my other teammates. I was disappointed. Well, it's his choice. He further goes on to say, after so many years together, so many things lived together, I was disappointed. I wish him the best. Did I expect behavior like that? No. This guy, man, he's not stable. He's not stable here. This guy, he's not aware of what he's doing in life. Romelu Lukaku, he don't care. He don't care. He will sell you. He will sell his soul if he has to. Delusion of the highest order. Delusion of the highest order. Even his mate, Lautaro Martinez, someone he's apparently so close to, he sold him as well. Didn't pick up his phone. Didn't pick up his best friend's phone when his best friend was looking for him. Lukaku, brother, you're a piece of work. You are a piece of work. Ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps us up. Let me know in the comment section. It's all about Caicedo. 80 million has been rejected by Brighton, the latest bid. They want 100 million. They want 100 million, apparently more than 100 million. So let me know in the comment section, what do we do? It is a bit of a mess, and I am starting to get a little bit worried about it. We need help. We need help there. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time. See ya.